So what are the mutable methods of list, right? So what is a mutable means the methods which can modify. So the methods which can modify the content of the list. That methods you can call it as what is mutable methods. So the methods which can modify the content of the list. Okay, because list is a mutable object. Because list is a mutable object, you can able to modify it. Because list is a mutable object, you can able to modify the content of the list. But to modify the content of the list, what you required is, you required which methods here? Mutable methods. You required mutable methods, right? So there is tomorrow I'm conducting one workshop. So PyScript. Okay, tomorrow I'm conducting workshop on PyScript. Okay, at 10 a.m. So if you want, you can attend this. I mean, like JavaScript, TypeScript. So Python introduced their own scripting in the browser, okay, which is executed in the browser, and that is called which one? PyScript. So tomorrow I'm conducting this workshop. If you want, you can attend. Okay, 10 o'clock. And already I shared this in the Telegram. Already I shared this in the Telegram, right? Okay, so 10 o'clock, and you can see that Zoom link. You can join online, no offline. So there is online, only online by script. Only online, there is no offline this. Okay. So mutable methods of list. So there are a number of mutable methods provided by list here, because as I know, list is a mutable object, and you can able to modify. You can able to modify the content of that. You can able to modify the content by using this mutable methods. So already we have seen one method called insert, right? Append. Already we have seen one method called append. So using this append method, so this is a method. So already I said you one method called which one? Append. So append, it followed by value, or it followed by which one? Element. So this method add this method add this method add the element at the end of the list. At the end of the list. This method add the element at the end of the list. That is what I said. And even we have seen some examples on this append method. And if you want to append more than one, you can take the help of slicing. You can take the help of what here? Slicing. That is, I'm saying sequence name. So here you have to give, so length. Okay, you have to give the indexes. That is a start index and one more is a stop index. So equal to, now you have to give iterable. Equal to, you have to give iterable. So using slicing, we can append. We can append more than one value. So using append method, you can able to add only one value or one element. But using slicing, you can able to add more than one value. Using slicing, you can able to add more than one value. But using append method, you can able to add only one value. Now just see here how this is. For example, I created one list and this list is what here? Empty list. So this list doesn't have any values or elements. And if you want to add it, you are using a method called which one? Append. List1 dot append 10. Okay, list1 dot append, what is that? 20. So how many values I added here? Only one value added. But I want to add more than one value, then I'll say list1 of. So where you are trying to append? Actually append means you'll try to add only at the end of the list. Now you have to give the starting and ending index as an end of the list. For example, this index is what? 0 and this index is what? 1. So you are trying to append the values from which index here? 2 onwards. So I'm trying to write here list1 of 2:2. Means you are trying to append from which position onwards? Second position onwards. You are trying to append the values from which position onwards? Second position onwards. How many values you want to add, that you represent as one iterable. I said I want to add some 5 values, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, and just press enter. Now you can see the list 1 is added with more values. How many values are added? 5 values. But using append, I cannot add more than one value. Using append, I can able to add how many values? One values. But if you want to add more than one value, you take the help of which one? Slicing. So you are trying to give the list name, and this is a starting index, and this is what? Stop index. This is a start index, and this is a stop index. And start and stop both must be same. Suppose if you give a start is 1 and stop is another, it will not append, but it will try to replace. Suppose if I give the start is 0 and stop is 2, then it will try to replace the values. Because of that, you have to give the starting index and stop index as the end of the list, length of the list. Okay. So here the start and stop indexes must be must be length of which one here? List. The start and stop indexes must be length of the list. But using append, you can able to add only one value. But using this slicing, you can able to add more than one value. Okay. Yes, this is how to add more than one value. And you can also add more than one value by using extends. You can add more than one value even by using extends. So there is like mutable operations. Like there is an operation called which one here? Extend. So extend, this is extend, right? So there is one method called here extend. Extend, it followed by iterable. So this is, so actually what is the difference between the append and extend is, so extend add more than one value and return. Extend and extend, see append will add only one value. Append is able to add how many values? One value. But without slicing, if I want to add more than one value, I can take the help of which one? Extend. So extend method of list, add, append more than one value without taking help of, which one? Slicing. So if you don't want to use a slicing and if you want to add more than one value, then you take the help of which one? Extend. Extend it followed by what here? Iterable. Okay, extend it followed by iterable. That is extend method of list, append more than one value without taking help of what? Slicing. For example, assume that there is a names list. What this names list contain is some names. Okay, assume that these are the names which are exist in the list. Okay, assume that these are the names. And already names list is having how many names here? Some 4 names are there. If I want to append some more names, then I'll say names list dot, what I'm saying, extend. Extend, I'm trying to put again some more names inside the list. I try to put some more names inside the list. Okay, now this is one name and this is one name. Okay, this is what here? Another name. So I try to add how many names to the names list? 3 more names. Now total how many names are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you want to append more than one value, you take the help of which one? Extend. So extend is used for adding more than one element or one value. So in application development, if you want to add more than one to the existing list, now you take the help of which one? Extend. But the same thing you can do it by using which one? Slicing. So what is the difference here? What is the difference between append and what is it? Extend? What is the difference? What is the difference between append and what is it? Extend? So here append method, only one difference is there. Append method is used to add, okay, one element or item. Okay, but extend method is used to append or add more than one element or more than one element or what is that? Item. If you want to add more than one element or item, now you take the help of which one? Extend. Okay. So that is the difference between append and what is that? Extend. So this is adding after creating it. But suppose, okay, suppose assume that. So write a, yes. So write a program. Suppose write a program to read n integers into list. Write a program to read how many integers here, n integers inside the list. After reading n integers into list, from list, separate even numbers into even list and odd numbers into what here? Odd list. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to write a program to read how many integers? N integers. Now there is a list which contain how many integers? N integers. There is one list contain how many integers? N integers. After reading, I'll tell you here, wait, we are in append. We are in append. We'll try to see insert also. Okay, now you have to read how many integers into the list? N integers. And from that integers, you have to separate which numbers? Even numbers. And you have to add that into which list? Even list. And you have to separate the odd numbers and you have to add that into which list? Odd list. Now total how many lists I have to create? 3 lists. One is a number list which contain all the numbers. One is an even list which contain only which numbers? Even numbers. Then odd list, and this odd list which contain only odd numbers. So this example, this technical yesterday, one student sent me this question, right? It is asked in technical, like separate odd numbers from list. Very simple. Logic is very simple, but if you understand, if you don't understand, over, right? So very simple logic, simple program. Read number of values into the list and separate even numbers and separate which one? Odd numbers. So generally why this kind of logics they ask is, like when you work with the data science applications, you'll try to do some grouping of values, grouping of data, grouping or separating of which one? Data, separating. There is a list contains so many data. Lots of data will be there in the data set, and you try to divide that data set into number of data sets based on certain conditions, based on certain conditions. Generally that you call it as some clustering, right? Okay, so for that they'll ask you this kind of logics. For that, they'll ask you this kind of logics. Suppose there is a list of students and you want to separate the students, those who are fail, put in one list, and those who are pass, put in what? Another list. Okay, separate fail students and put in one list, and separate pass students and put inside what? Another list. So based on that, you'll try to find out like how many students are pass or how many students are fail. So you do some analysis by using past students as well as what? Failed students, like that. So, but the list contain all the data, but you try to separate the data and put inside what? Other list. Okay. Now this logic is read. What you read? The value of n, input, enter, enter the value of, enter the value of which one? N. Enter the value of n. Okay. So after that for in range of n, for in range of n, n means what is the value of n? Suppose if the value of n is 5, this for loop is executed how many times? 5 times. Means you have to read how many values? 5 values. Okay, so value equal to integer of input, enter any value. Enter any value, and this value you are trying to append. This value we are trying to append to which one? List. So number list dot append. Number list dot append. What you are trying to append to the number list? Value. What you are trying to append to the number list here? Value. So you are trying to add how many values to the number list here? N values. You are trying to add how many values to the number list here? N values. Okay. Now just to see here, this is number list. This is what here number list. So once you run this, it is asking to input the value of n. Enter the value of what? N. So how many values I want to input is 5 values. Some 3, 8, okay, 6, some 9 and 5, right? So how many values are there in this list? 5 values. And from this, I have to separate which numbers? Even numbers. Okay, from this, I want to separate which numbers? Even numbers. And I want to put that inside which list here? Even list. And I want to separate odd numbers and I want to put inside which list here? Odd list. Okay, now, so even numbers should be added to even list and odd numbers should be added to which list? Odd list. So what you have to do for every time you have to read one value from the list or not? Yes. How can you read the values from the list? How many ways are there? 5 ways are there. Using index, using slicing, using iterator, using enumerate, using for loop. Okay. So each time I'm reading one value from which one here? Number list. What I'm doing it every time I'm reading one value from number list. Every time, each time I'm reading one value from number list. After reading the value from number list, if value mod 2 equal to what? 0. Add this value to which list here? Event list. Event list dot append. Which one you are trying to append? Value. So each time you are reading one value from which list here? Number list. Each time you are reading one value from number list, after reading the value from number list, you are trying to verify is it that value is even or not. If the value is even, you are adding that value to which list here? Even list. So if the value is not an even number, then you are trying to add it to which list here? Odd list. Odd list dot append, even list dot append value. Else you're saying odd list dot append value. Okay, now I'm trying to display what is this now? Event list. And I try to display which one here? Odd list. Okay, now so this is filtering or not? Yes, this is just like filtering. You are trying to filter the data, right? You are trying to filter the data. Okay, you are trying to filter the data like this. Now what I'm doing is enter how many values, some 5 values. Now I try to input the values like this. Okay, 6, 9 and 5. This is number list having all the numbers, but this is having only even numbers and this is having only odd numbers. But how you are separating that? Every time you are reading one value from list, every time you are reading one value from list, after reading the value from list, every time you are reading value from list. So try to understand this. So every time you are reading value from list. So this is a list. Okay, assume that this is a list contain. Assume that this is a list which contain how many values? 5 values. So 5 values are there inside this list. Some 3 and some 4 and this is 7 and this is 5 and this is some 2. Okay, now each value is identified with what here? Index. So 0, 1, 2 and this is 3 and this is what here? 4. But actually are you reading using index? No, you are reading using which one? For loop. So what is this list here? What is this list here? Number list. What is this list here? Number list. So this number list is having how many values? 5 values. What is the first value in the number list? 3. What is the first value in number list here? 3. First value in number list is a 3. Is it value mod 2 equal to 0? What is the value here? 3. Is it 3 mod 2 equal to 0? No. Then this value is added in which list here? Odd list. Assume that this is the odd list where it is added which one? 3. Then read the next value from the list. What is the next value? 4. 4 mod 2 equal to 0? Yes. And this will be added in which list here? Event list. Then read the next value, that is 7. 7 mod 2 equal to 0? No. Then 7 is added in which list here? Odd list. And read the next value from the list 5. 5 mod 2 equal to 0? No. This 5 is added in which list? Odd list. Read the next value from the list 2. 2 mod 2 is 0? Yes. Sorry. This is 4, right? And 2 mod 2 is 0? Yes. So this is which list here? Odd list. And this is which list here? Event list. Okay. So you are trying to read. After reading it, you are applying some condition. Is it that number is even number or odd number? If the number is even number, you are just moving into which list? Event list. If the number is odd number, you are just moving into which list? Odd list. So that is done by using which methods here? Append method. Append is for adding during runtime. If you want to add anything during runtime, you take the help of which method? Append method. Getting or not? Okay. Suppose here, just see hackers rank. See this example here. Okay, now this is an example. If you see this example, now this is a problem definition. The problem definition is given the participant score sheet for your university sports day. You are required to find the runner-up score. You are required to find which one? Runner-up score. You are given n scores. You are given how many scores here? N scores. So store them in a list and find the score of the runner-up. So runner-up is nothing but first maximum or second maximum? Second maximum. So runner-up means you have to find out what? Second maximum. Okay, second maximum you have to find out, right? So given the participant score sheet for university sports day, you are required to find the runner-up score. You are given n scores. Okay, store them in a list and find the score of the runner-up. Find the score of runner-up. Now you have to put all the scores inside one list. Now you can see this is the input format. So how many scores you are trying to read here? 5 scores. But is it input all the scores in one line or multiple line? One line only. So one line means you have to input and then split. You have to input and then what? Split. When you split, what it will return? List. If you split, what it returns? List. And that list contain all the values of which type? String type. Then you have to convert that list into integers. Okay, that list you have to convert into integers, and the result what you get, you convert that again back into which type? List type. So it is like this. Okay, how you are reading is, the reading is very simple. How you are reading is input. What input will read? One value or more than one value? One value. Okay, input read how many values? Only one value of which type? String type. Input always return the value as which type? String. And that string you are trying to split. That string you are trying to what? Split. Okay. Already we have seen this. You are seeing like it's a new thing, right? Already we have seen this. Already we have seen this. ओके आपका फेसेस देखो तो मेरे को डर लग रहा हाँ ऐसे देख रही कि ये क्या है बोल के हाँ यस ये नया नहीं है पुराना ही है यार जो ऑलरेडी अपन सीखे स्टार्टिंग में सीखे मगर एक महीना हो गया ना याददाश्त चले जाते आप लोगों का हाँ पूरा गजनी से हाँ गजनी देखे क्या हाँ वैसे रहता एक बार देखे तो मालूम होता नहीं तो मालूम नहीं होता हाँ यस यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस You have to practice. Practice. क्या क्यों बोल रहा हूँ यार मैं हाँ You have to practice. Otherwise, see, learn the subject यार, learn the subject, learn the programming, learn the subject, learn the programming. How to do programming? Important यार. Programming, you should know it. How to write programs, how to build the logics. इतने सारे examples क्यों बोल रहा हूँ यार मैं ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ क्या मैं नहीं मेरे को थोड़ा बहुत आता है पाइथन आपके लिए बोल रहा हूँ मैं हाँ सही है नहीं okay you have to practice you people are not practicing you have to practice I'm telling you so many examples number of examples number of ways you have to practice what I'm telling you is try to practice at least 1 hour at least 1 hour if you practice it that is enough I'm not telling you to practice for 2-3 hours एक घंटा बैठो बस उतना है अच्छा प्रोग्रामर बन सकते हैं आप एक घंटा बैठो तो मगर घंटा नहीं मिलता आपको okay 1 hour you sit that's it I'm not saying that sit for 10 hours 20 hours I'm not saying that become a scientist in Python right okay research in Python I'm not telling that do some research in Python by sitting for 12 hours 10 hours sit for 1 hour that is enough at least what I said in the class you practice that जब जो मैं क्लास में बोलो प्रैक्टिस करे तो थोड़ा बहुत आता अगर कुछ भी नहीं करे तो कुछ नहीं आता खाली सुन के जाना बस उतना है वैसे नहीं रहना यार यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस कोर्स कंप्लीट करना बहुत मुश्किल की बात नहीं है मेरे को एक संडे भाई तो संडे कल बैठते क्या आप लोग पूरा खत्म कर देते कल बैठते क्या इफ यू सिट फॉर टुमारो राइट फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टू इवनिंग everything will be over one day Python you'll become one day Python developer one day Python developer you'll become and one day that's it one day ऐसे आगे चले गए बस उतना ही रहता कुछ नहीं सीखते आप लोग खाली हेडिंग्स हेडिंग बोलना डेफिनेशन बोलना अभी इतने दिन बोलते ही याद नहीं रह रहा एक संडे बोले तो खत्म हो गया पूरा ऊपर से चले जाता अभी थोड़ा थोड़े लोग ऊपर से चले जा रहा फिर भी पाइथन इजी है सही है नहीं पर प्रैक्टिस करना यार यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस इफ यू डोंट प्रैक्टिस देन इट विल बी अ प्रॉब्लम मैं स्टार्टिंग से बोल रहा हूँ मगर आप लोग नहीं सुन रहे मेरे नहीं सुने तो कुछ नहीं है नो प्रॉब्लम बट इफ यू वांट टू बिकम ए डेवलपर you have to code it okay na you have to code it and you have to write it suppose I said I'll tell you examples in hackers right examples in academic means I'll not tell you all the programs, right? At least you have to do some programs. At least you have to do some programs. अभी कल देखो एक स्टूडेंट को एक क्लास में बोला मैं, this example I said in the class, same question is asked in technical, फिर भी उन्होंने मेरे को भेज दिया. Okay, फिर भी उन्होंने मेरे को भेजा कि अरे सर please help in doing this code. But if we write this, if we practice while doing the course, then he can able to write the program or not. Yes. पर आप लोग नहीं कर रहे, फिर बाद में मेरे को सेंड कर दे, मेरे को लिखो बोल के. पर वैसे नहीं करना. मैं say next time onwards, that is what I want to tell. You have to do it. If you don't write the program, then you are not eligible for software engineer. Okay, if you are not writing a program, then you are not eligible. You have to write with a simple program. Simple. Write with the basic programs here. Basics, input, process, output. Simple examples like convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, Celsius to what? Fahrenheit. Simple examples. Convert rupees to dollars, dollars to what? Rupees. Multiplication only, no? Then ऐसे थोड़ा थोड़ा छोटा एग्जाम्पल्स ले लेना, एक ही साथ एक बड़ा ले लेते, खत्म. और कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आता, कुछ भी नहीं करते, उसको क्लोज कर देते, बस उतना ही. पहले यू वांट टू डेवलप ए चेस गेम. ओके, अभी क्या सोचता हूँ ना, पाइथन जैन हो जाता. एक महीना होने के बाद मैं एक गेम डेवलप करना मेरे को, फिर ओपन करता हूँ ना. यू वांट टू डेवलप वन स्नेक गेम, पहले सांप ले लेता हूँ ना. ओके, then over. Then he'll not learn the Python or will not do anything. Okay, वैसे नहीं रहना यार. You have to start with a simple and then you have to learn which one? Complex. But I said so many these things, right? Like the websites where you can find the programs and their solutions also you can find. Okay, if you don't know the solutions also you can find. You can just see the solutions and you can start writing, right? अरे क्यों पैसे बर्बाद कर लेते यार आप लोग. ओके, पैसे ज्यादा हो गए क्या आप लोगों को? सही है नहीं? You have to learn the subject. You have to learn the subject because see, I'm telling you number of examples. I'm telling you number of examples and number of approaches. Why this number of, see, I can tell you one example and I can finish it off, right? So my intention is not like that. Completing the course. Completing the course means I can complete it. If I complete it, I'll get one more batch. किसको फायदा है? मेरे को फायदा है, आपको फायदा है, मेरे को ही फायदा है. सही है? I'll get one more batch here. मगर इतने दिन क्यों पढ़ा रहा हूं मैं आपको? क्यों बोले? तो you should be benefited. I should justify the student, right? ऐसे है कि बोल के अरे पाइथन हो गया, मगर बाद में आप लोग नहीं सोचना कि सर क्या बताया. अभी गालियां नहीं देना ना मेरे को. सही है नहीं? फिर सो मेरा हिंदी अच्छा है नहीं? यस, थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम रहता मेरे को. ओके, और फिर भी बात कर ले तो मैं. ओके, राइट. सो यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस. अभी प्रैक्टिस बोले तो सर आज बोला कल करते, मगर बाद में नहीं करते, फिर बोलना मैं प्रैक्टिस करो बोल के. अभी कल संडे है ना, सर कल बोला मैं प्रैक्टिस करूंगा बोल के बुक ओपन कर लेता हूँ. बुक भी नहीं रहता, ये नोट्स ओपन कर लेता हूँ ना. अभी क्या करना बोल के सोचता ही रहता हूँ. नींद आ जाता, सो जाता हूँ, बस इतना है. पढ़ो बोल के बोल रहा हूँ मैं, पढ़ो. ओके, so these logics are helpful. See, These logics are helpful. This logics also very helpful. This logics also very helpful, right? Okay, very much helpful in this logics also very much helpful in not only in Python, right? Any programming language, okay, you can implement it. You're learning C or C++, Java or anything. So that's the reason in technical they ask you solve this problem in respective of your language. Like if you know C, you can solve in C. If you know Python, you solve in what? Python. If you know .NET, you solve in what? .NET. But there is no specific like you have to do only in Python. But if it is Python developer, then you must solve in what? Python only. If the job is Python developer, then you have to solve in yes. So how can I find out the runner-up score? Runner-up means what? Second maximum. Second maximum. How can you find the second maximum? Very simple logic. आप सोचे तो आ जाता, मगर नहीं सोचते आप लोग, दिमाग को यूज नहीं करते, because it's very costly. You try to put on unnecessary things but not on technical. दिमाग लगाओ यार, मालूम हो जाता. First maximum, simple, right? Simple logic is sort it. If you sort it. Sorting is done or not? Yes. Sort in which order? Ascending order. Last value is what? First maximum. Before that value is what? Second maximum. बस हो गया. दो ही steps रहता. First maximum sort करो. Sort करने के बाद you get which value? Last but one value. So that is the second maximum or not? Yes. Suppose that value is again first maximum. You have to compare it. That value is there how many times? That maximum is there how many times? And you have to skip those many number of values. Suppose there are two people with the same maximum. Then how many maximums are there? Two. Then from last you have to skip how many values? Two values. Okay, so there is a 5 maximum people are there. Then you have to skip how many values from last? 5. But one you have to display it. That's it. That is called as which score here? Runner-up score. Very simple logic. So this is helpful. This is also helpful. Maximum, minimum, right? All these are statistical operations. Aggregate operations are not. Yes, all these are aggregate operations. And this maximum, minimum is also helpful in sorting. Maximum and minimum also helpful in what? Sorting, right? Sorting also you'll try to use it. Okay, anyway, so what you have to do? You have to input all the values in one line. You have to input all the values in how many lines? One line only. One line. So first step is what? Input. First step is what? You have to read. Okay. So what I'm doing here? Input. Input will read one value, and that you are trying to split into how many values? Number of values. Input dot split. Okay, now. Then after this, you are trying to apply which function? Integer. You are converting all these values into which type? You are converting all these values into which type? Integer type. Suppose I try to input 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30. What is that? 40, 50. Is it this is input or not? Yes. This input you are trying to split. Input will return which type of value? String value. Is it this is string or not? Yes. This is a string. This is a string. This is the string. This is called as which one here? String. This is a string. And this string, what you are trying to do? You are trying to split. What you applied here? Split. This string is split into how many values? 5 values. 5 values means, is it created one list or not? Yes, it will create one list with how many values? 5 values. 10, 20, 30, 40 and what? 50. How many values are there? 5 values are there. How many values are there? 5 values. But all these are which type of values? String values. Because when you split the string, you get which type? String only. String को split करे तो क्या आता? String ही आता. Okay, और कुछ नहीं आता, right? So this is first value, and this is a second value, and this is a third value, this is a fourth value, and this is what? Fifth value. But all these values are which type? String type. Now you have to convert these values into which type? Integer. Then you are mapping it. You are mapping one function to each value of this list. You are mapping one function to each value of this. And what is that? What is that function you are applying? Integer. So this integer function convert this 10 into which type? Integer type. And this 20 is again to which type? Integer type. This 30 is again into which type? Integer type. So this 40 is converted to integer, and 50 is also converted to integer. So it will return one iterator. It will return one iterator, and this iterator, you read the values from this iterator and you store inside what again? List. You again store these values into the list. Then what you do is you apply which function on this? List function on this. Okay. So what will happen? Input values are split and convert to which type? Integer type, and convert into which type? List type. All these values you stored in which type here? List type. Okay. Because this is one iterator which contain the conversion values. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to write here list. Okay. Now I'm trying to write here list. What is this list here? What is this list here? Scores list. This is a scores list. If you want, you can print it. Print the scores. Okay, this is print the score. Now you have to input the scores. What is the scores I have to input here? Suppose 5. 5 means how many students? Oh, I have to input 5 scores. So what I'm doing is we have to read number of scores, right? Okay, now I just input 5. I have to input the scores. So yeah, the scores are how many scores here? 2, 3, 6, 6, 5. 2, 3, 6, 6. What is this? 5. Okay. Oh, not here, right? You have to enter. This is a number of scores. That is 2, 3, 6, 6, 5. Now your list is having how many values? 5 values. But you have to read how many values? N values. Now here I have to take the value of which one? N. Integer of input. Integer of what? Input. Okay now. Yes. But suppose in input can I input any number of values or not? Yes. In input I can input any number of values. For example, if I run this, I said 5. I have to input how many values? 5 values. But I'm trying to input 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many values I input? 10 values. Now your list is having 5 values or 10 values? 10 values. But you have to read how many values? 5 values. Now is it the split will return one list or not? Is it the split will return list or not? Yes. From that list you have to read how many values? From that list you have to read how many values? 5 values. 5 values means I'm doing which one? Slicing. Suppose if you enter more than 5 values, then will it slice it or not? Yes. For example, if I enter 10 values, okay, if I enter how many values? 10 values. Now split will return the list with how many values? 10 values. But from that 10 values, you are reading how many values? From that 10 values, you are reading how many values? N values. N means what here? Some 5 values or 4 values or like that. Okay. Suppose I said here 5. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But how many values you read? 5 values. But you input how many values? 10 values. It means from these 10 values, you do what? Slicing. From these 10 values, you do what? Slicing, and return how many values? 5 values. Read 5 values. Now, after this, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to sort it. Sort this course in which order? Ascending order. How can you sort it? Now, for sorting, you can use the function called which one? Sort. So then scores dot Scores dot which one? Sort. This will by default, this will sort in which order? Ascending order. Scores dot, what is the method here? Sort. This will sort in which order here? Ascending order. Now you can see scores. Input how many? 5. Okay. 5, and these are the scores. You can see I entered 2, 3, 6, 6, 5, but after sorting 2, 3, 5, 6, 6. Now what is the runner-up score? What is the runner-up score? 5. What is the first maximum? 6. What is the second maximum? 5. First maximum is 6 and second maximum is what? 5. Then I have to find out first maximum or not. Yes. What is the first maximum? What is the first maximum? 6. How can I find out the maximum? By using which function? Max of scores. And this maximum is there how many times? I have to count it or not? Yes. How can you count it? How many times this maximum is there? By using count. Now list is provided one method called count. Which value you are counting here? Maximum value. So you are counting maximum values. Here count also I displayed. So how many values I'm trying to input? 5 values. These are 5 values. Okay. How many times is maximum value is there? 2 times. Then you have to read which value? You have to read which value? 5. Now you have to skip how many values? You have to skip how many values? 2 values, and I have to read this value or not? Yes. Now tell me how to read this 5. How to read this 5? I have to skip how many values? 2 values. I have to read this value. Tell me how to read that. What is the length? 5. 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 means 0, 1, 2. 5 minus 2 or 5 minus 2 means it should take what? 2 or 3? 2. 0, 1, 2. Because index starts at what? So length of list minus 1 minus count or not? Yes. Then you'll get the second runner up. Okay, what is the length of this list here? 5. Okay, 5 minus 1 minus 2. 5 minus 1 minus 2 is what? 2. So 0, 1, 2. What is the runner up score here? 5. What is the runner up score here? 5. Okay, yes. Just see here. Print what? Scores of index. What is the index now? N minus 1 minus what? Count. N minus 1 minus count. N is nothing but number of elements or not? Yes. Okay, now just see here. Now how many elements? 5 elements. So what is the runner-up score now? 5. What is the runner-up score? 5. So skip how many values from right side? 2 values, and you are reading next value. And this is a runner-up or not? Yes. So runner-up, first maximum, second maximum, first minimum, second minimum. The logic is very easy. Only the thing you have to do is sorting. Sorting nagar you will not get it. Now, in this example, I use one predefined function methods. Like there is a method called sort and there is a method called which one? Count. So count is also very much useful when you're doing some statistical operations. Counting. You want to count how many each values occurred how many times. Okay, each value is there how many times. Where it is used in finding which equation. Each value is there how many times, which is used to get the one statistical value or not. Yes. So count scores dot count, and you are counting which value? Maximum value. If this maximum value is 3 times, from right side you are trying to skip how many values? 3 values, and read which one? But value, right? So that is done by using this logic. Now you can see here already I've written the code. So input n value and split, and then maximum and count how many times that maximum value is there. And after that sorting is done, and n minus count plus 1 or n minus 1 minus count, anything you can write it. And this is second maximum. Second maximum. Now you have to write the logic like this, and you should not write all these things. Okay. You have to print only which one? Maximum value. So I'll just copy this code here. Okay. I'll try to remove from this and write here and then run the code. Okay. So is it successful or not? Yes. Then submit the code. So all the test cases are passed or not? Yes. So this is finding which one? Second maximum. Finding second maximum, right? This is a solution for it. See, they don't ask you theory. Freshers, they don't ask you theory, right? Okay, you are not experienced person. Like if you are putting 2 years, 3 years experience, they'll ask you questions on your project. So the questions on projects are nothing but theory questions or not. Yes. But freshers, there is no theory. There is only practical. There's no theory questions, only practical questions. If practical is successful, then only they'll go to which one? Theory questions, but not directly. Okay, now first round is a technical only. Once your resume is shortlisted, next is what? Technical. Technical only. You have to write the program. Until unless you don't write theory, nobody will care. Okay, you have to know how to write the code. Okay, yes. Anyway, concept, before that you should know the concept, but without knowing concept, you cannot write it, right? Okay, now these are other methods. These are other methods which are used in this example. And what is it? Other one? Count is there. There is a method called count. In this example, I used count. So count is used for counting how many times a given values exist. If you want to know how many times a given values exist, you can do it by using which one here? Count. So there is a count. Count is there. Is a method of a sequence, right? So total, S is nothing but sequence. Okay, S is nothing but what here? Sequence, right? S dot count of X. Total number of occurrences of X in what? S. Okay, now that is written by here count. That is written by the count here. Yes. So example is, now you can write like this. If you want to write example, okay, now you can write like this. Now you can apply this count on any sequence data type. You can apply this count on any sequence data type. Okay, some ABC, ABC, ABC. I'm trying to say str equal to str1 dot count. I want to count how many times A is there. So how many times A is there? 3 times. Okay. In the same way, there is a list. The list contains 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 10, 50, 60, some 90 and 10. I want to know it. How many times 10 is there? Okay, list 1 dot. What is that count? 10. How many times 10 is there here? 3 times. If I'm saying count, if I'm saying C equal to list 1 dot count, list 1 dot count, I want to know how many times some 50 is there. How many times is 50 is there? Only 1 time. So frequency, right? How many times is go to documentation. Just go to documentation. See, help is there. Beautiful documentation is there. If you have a time, you can read this documentation. If you have a time, otherwise, no, don't read it. Okay. Right. Now this is how you are trying to count. So this is a count, and there is one more. There's one more method. Just now I said called which one? Sort. Now there is another method called which one? Sort is there. Okay, sorting is done by using which method? Sort method. And using sort, you can sort either in ascending order or what? Descending order. Okay. Using less than comparison. Now this is a sort is a method again of which one here? List. Sort is a method of list. Sort is a method of list. Okay, this is sorting in either ascending order or in descending order. Okay, for example, I'm trying to say list one. List one equal to I try to input some values. List one equal to I try to input some values. These are the values which I input. These are the values which I input inside the list. Okay, now I want to sort this list in ascending order. I want to sort this list in what? Ascending order. Yes, without sorting also you can sort it. It is not preferable to sort it by using sort. Okay, because Python is easy, right? Because sort is there. Actually, I don't like sorting it using sort. You have to write the logic for what? Sorting. There are different algorithms out there, right? Sorting algorithms like insertion sort, merge sort, quick sort, bubble sort, and heap sort. Okay. Okay, you have a different sorting techniques. Algorithms is one more important thing in application development, right? Algorithms. Who will develop algorithms generally? Who will develop algorithms? You people should develop algorithms. Algorithm is a solution for a given problem. When problem definition is given, then first you have to build what? Algorithm, not program. Algorithm or pseudocode. You have to build algorithm or you have to build what? Pseudocode. And then you have to write what? Program. So that is the best way of learning it. And after developing algorithm, you have to check whether your algorithm is efficient or not. How can you check whether your algorithm is efficient or not? Now, for that, you have to know how to find the time complexity as well as what? Space complexity. If your algorithm takes a lot of space, then it is not efficient. If your algorithm takes a lot of time, then it is not efficient. Okay, now you have to build different algorithms. Different algorithms for a given problem. It's nothing but solution for a given problem. It's called as which one? Algorithm. Step-by-step procedure of solving a given problem is called which one? Algorithm or pseudocode. Sometimes in technical, they give you a pseudocode and write a program. Pseudocode means already solution is given or not? Yes. Pseudocode means solution is given. You have to convert that pseudocode into what? Program. Already algorithm is given. You have to convert that algorithm into what? Program. Algorithm into program, pseudocode into what? Program. That is also you should know it. That is also you should know it. Now, this is a list, and this list is having some number of elements. And after that, I want to sort it. I need to say list one dot sort. Is the sorting is done within the same list or it is written new list? Same list. That list is same list is itself is what? Sorted. Same list itself is sorted. If you say list one, is it sorted all the elements or not? Yes. In which order? Ascending order. I want in descending order. Okay, how can I do it? Sort. Here you have a reverse, right? What is default reverse? False. Then I have to say reverse. I have to say reverse equal to which one? True. Okay, reverse equal to true and print list one. Now this is in which order? Descending order. Ascending order and one more is descending. Okay. Yes. And there is also There is also here, if you see the syntax of sort, right? There is a reverse and there is also which one? Key. A key is nothing but function which you want to apply. Like suppose there is one list. There is a list which contain there is one list which contains some F, A, okay, B, okay, some D, and then some C, and there is capital D, and there is a capital F, and there is a capital E, and there is a capital B. So it means this is a list which contains the strings in uppercase as well as what? Lowercase. Which one is greater, uppercase strings or lowercase strings? Which strings are greater than which string? Lowercase strings are greater than uppercase. Yes, because ASCII value of small a is what? 97. ASCII value of capital A is what? 65. Then small letter is greater than capital letter. So first it will show you which letters. If I sort it, first it will show you which letters. If I sort it, first it will show you uppercase. Then it will show you lowercase. First it will show you the uppercase and then it will show you which one? Lowercase. But when I'm saying sorting, right, I want capital A and small a should be at one place, right? Capital A and small a both should be at what? One place, because this is A and this is also A. All A should be at the beginning, right? And then followed by B, then followed by C. But here it is comparing it by taking which value? ASCII values. Okay, when you take ASCII value of this, small a is greater than, less than which one? Capital A. But I want to sort it. I want to sort it by converting these values into one case. That is either in uppercase or either in what? Lowercase. Then I'll try to tell the sort function, okay, sort it. I'll tell the sort function, sort it by applying one function, that is upper function. Okay, I'll try to say key. What is a key equal to str? Str is what? String data type, and this string data type is having one function called upper. You're saying that, okay, compare, okay, sort these values by converting into which case? Uppercase. Even though if it is lowercase, you compare it by converting into which case? Uppercase. In that case, uppercase and lowercase both are same, because internally it is converting lowercase into what? Uppercase, and then doing comparison. In this case, if you say print, in this case, if you say print list 2, you can see uppercase, lowercase both are same or different? Same. Uppercase and lowercase both are same or different? Same. That can be done by using which one here? Key. Now sorting can be done by using one predefined method. List is provided or a sequence is provided one predefined method called which one? Sort. But you can also apply your own sorting logic, right? You can also apply your own sorting logic, right? Okay. Now this is one method of list, right? But this is also which method? Mutable method. This is also mutable because is it this method is modifying the content of the list or not? Yes, it is ordering either in ascending or what is that? Descending. Let us see how to replace the values. Now we have seen how to append the values. Now we'll try to see how to replace values, replacing or updating the values, and this replacing or updating the values is done by using index. Okay, how to replace values? How to replace values of list? How to replace values of list? You can replace the values of list by using index, and one more is using what? Slicing. You can replace the values by using indexing and slicing. Using index, you can replace only one value, but using slicing, you can replace more than one value. Using index, you can replace only one value, but using slicing, you can able to replace more than one value. Replacing one value and replacing more than one value. Try to remember this. I is nothing but index. Ij is what? Slicing. Ijk. I means starting index and j is what? Ending index. This is slicing. Colon deke to slicing. Without colon is not slicing. It is only indexing. So slicing required how many values? 3 values. Start, stop and step. And here is given start and stop. And default step is taken or not? Yes. What is the default step? Only one. Okay, start, stop, step. Now start, stop, and then what? Step. Now index is used to replace how many values? Only one value. But using slicing, you can able to replace how many values? More than one value. Using index, you can able to replace one value, and using slicing, you can able to replace more than one value. Okay. Using index, you can replace one value, and using slicing, you can replace more than one value. Just see here how this replacing is done. We'll see now. Okay. Or we'll do one thing like this replacing, deleting, and all this we'll try to see tomorrow, right? Tomorrow means Monday, right? So we'll try to see on Monday again with some more examples. But please try to practice, right? Because lot of things we have to learn, but while learning remaining concepts, all these are implemented. All these are again used. All these are again used, right? So you are learning Python and one concept is linked with what? Another concept. So we'll stop it here and we'll see you on Monday. Thank you.